Hello, bronies, ponies, and Pegasisters. Welcome to Equestria Talk. I am Indigo Wisp.
And I'm Static Blitz.
And today we are here with BronyCurious. Why don't you say hey to everyone?
What's going on, guys?
And why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So I started contributing to the fandom a little bit, I guess, over a year ago now. Initially I started doing visual storytelling, so I did a picture book called Sister Who Slighted, which is all about giving Scootaloo the episode she never got at the time. I've been working on a comic book chronicling what happens to Trixie after events of Magic Duel called Recovery, and my kind of claim to fame, quote-unquote, is the analysis videos I started doing about 8 months ago over on YouTube. So
That's cool. So you said you're drawing a comic?
Correct. Yes.
That's cool. Who does it revolve around?
So it revolves mostly around Trixie. Comic's called Recovery. You can find it on my DeviantArt account. And I will be doing a motion comic adaptation of it soon that'll be on my YouTube channel, since I know most of the people who know my work know me from YouTube. But the story is kind of about what happens to Trixie after Magic Duel, and kind of tries to flesh out her character a bit, go into her backstory, and kind of reveal more of her motivations. And just kind of explain kind of my thoughts on the character and how she kind of operates. So
That's cool. It's always nice to see comics like that.
Yeah, it is.
Alright, so how long have you been... You already said that. Okay, I'll start off with this. How did you get into My Little Pony and become a brony?
Alright, so most people that I've talked to, at least, who become a brony, it's kind of a very quick transition. For me, took like a really long time. And the reason for that is I have an 11-year-old sister. So while she was growing up, I had to babysit her a lot, and so I had to watch a lot of G3 while babysitting her, because that was one of her things back in the day. So I was kind of sour to the franchise more than the normal person, because I had watched a lot of the older incarnations of the show and was less than enthused about what I saw.
Yeah.
So when I got into like Friendship is Magic, or I started realizing that there was like this following for it, I really didn't understand it, because again, like most people, I assumed it was similar to the past incarnations. So the first thing I saw was a joystick article on Fighting is Magic, which I thought looked really cool, and it had really good animation and stuff. But I didn't really check out the show. One thing led to another, and I kept kind of because it's all over the internet now, so I kept running into it over and over again. And eventually, my older sister, because I have two sisters, one who's 11, one who's just graduating college. So my older sister is on Tumblr a lot, and she was like, so my friend sent me this thing, Cupcakes, and you should read it, because I know you're kind of like on the fence about this pony thing. So I read it, and like it was just so bizarre to me. I needed to like cleanse my mental palate, so I went and started watching the show, which I'd watched a few episodes at that point, but hadn't gotten addicted to it. But at this point, I was like, I just need to like cleanse my palate. So I went and watched that show, and that for some reason at that point it just clicked, and I ended up watching the entire series up to that point. And then that weekend I watched my first episode live, which was Baby Cakes, and I've just been pretty much addicted ever since.
Oh, yeah. Baby Cakes, that's a good one.
It is.
Kind of creepy-ish towards the end of it. Gets kind of like a poltergeist feeling to it.
It does.
Right.
But, like, so you said you really got into it, like, it interested you when you saw Cupcakes, you said?
Well, I kind of glossed over a lot, but I kept running into My Little Pony. Like, I had seen the joystick article, and I was like, this is interesting, but I'm not, like, intrigued enough to go check out the show. Then I kept seeing it online, and every time I'd be like, that's something I should probably just check out at some point, but I never got around to it. And then the second thing that really got me started was I ordered something off of eBay, and it came in, it was wrapped in My Little Pony wallpaper, or like wrapping paper. And I was like,
Nice.
I can't get away from this show, like even in real life now. I'm not even on the internet, and here it is. So, fine, alright? Fine, like fate. I will watch some of the show.
It's a
So I watched up to, I think, Griffin the Brush Off was where I stopped. And I liked it, and I understood why people were into the show, but I didn't, like, get completely addicted to that point. I was just kind of like, okay, this is cool, and I understand why people like it, but it's not really my thing. And then I stopped again. And it wasn't until I read Cupcakes, just like, oh my god, these characters that I like have just been so bastardized. Like, what? And that's when I was like, I just need to go back and like cleanse myself and just like remember like why they were so good. So I started watching. I think the next episode I watched after that was Ghostbusters because I was still going in order, and then
Oh, yeah.
I just powered through the rest of it. So I don't know, something about it just clicked. Obviously, I like Trixie, so maybe it was Trixie that got me back on the bandwagon hardcore. I don't really know. It's just kind of a package.
It wasn't fate that made me watch it. It was my brother.
Yeah.
He spammed me with clips.
Yeah, and the part that got him into the show was Fluttershy scolding the dragon.
Yep. That's... Ever since then, she was kind of my favorite.
Nice, dude.
She's just always been my favorite. It used to be Octavia because that was when I was in my gothic phase. So like I was really into grimdark, and my favorite was Octavia. She seemed gothic kind of thing. So she was my favorite for a while. But then it went on to Fluttershy when I really got into the show.
So how do you feel about the grimdark part of the My Little Pony fandom?
It's not really something I've explored very deeply. For me, like I've just recently started diving into the whole like fan fiction part of it, and I mean, obviously I write fan fiction, obviously, because I write these comics and stuff and these stories, so I'm creating it, but I've always had, I think a lot of people have a bias against fan fiction because it has such a negative rap. And even before I got into this fandom, I had never participated in a fandom ever before, and I never did any fan art. For me, like, my artwork had always been original characters and original stories. Like, why the fuck am I going to waste my time on someone else's characters when I should be doing my own thing, you know? Like, I can't do anything with these, and, like, I have a degree in graphic design, so, like, I'm technically a professional artist or whatever. So, like, I can't be wasting my time doing fan art. But it was something about MLP that just, it's infectious, and I was working...
Oh, yeah.
I had this big sketchbook, and I was working on last summer when I got addicted. I was working on concept art for a project, a comic story I wanted to do. I had no name for it yet. It was just called Project Aftermath, and it was about these three cultures in a post-apocalyptic society. And I was designing like costume designs, lore, like how the world worked and everything. And I started drawing this book. It was like half full. Then I started watching MOP. And I kept trying to, you know, when I wasn't watching the show, I was still working on this project. And then I would slowly notice that all of my drawings started to devolve into really bad drawings of Rainbow Dash. And I was like, what the fuck? I can't get this show out of my head! So it just took over my life, and there was nothing I could do about it. So, and then at one point, I just started like thinking about Scootaloo and Rainbow Dash, and then I still have the page somewhere. It was like a little crappy drawing of Rainbow Dash. I still haven't really learned how to draw ponies at this point. And then it was just like some bullet points, like Scootaloo is sad, Rainbow Dash takes her flying, and like I just had like a little story idea, and that turned into Sister Who Slighted, which was my first big pony project, which is a 70-page picture book. And then it was just like totally, at that point I was just done. Like my whole life was on hold just for friggin' horses, so I don't even know.
That's pretty cool. Like, I used to read fan fiction all the time. Like before, like I said, I was obsessed with Grimdark. I read Cupcakes all the time. Then after I got out of that, the only fan fiction I've wanted to read was My Little Dashie. I don't know if you've read that one or not.
Yes.
Oh man, that one's heartbreaking.
My poison right now is shipping fix, and like I'm almost ashamed to say that, but like I read like everything I read now is like shipping fix, which is.
I don't read those. I mean, I used to, but.
Oh yeah, but you know.
I don't read those, but I don't not respect people who read them though.
Whatever makes you happy, you know.
Yeah.
Life's too short to do what other people want you to do or what people expect you to do. You know, do what makes you happy.
Just like Shane Dawson says. Yes, I'm going to be making references to him now. Because I just started. Do you know? Random question. Do you know Shane Dawson?
I know of him.
Well, yeah, of him, but I always say, do you know him like you know him personally? I need to stop asking that.
It's like, yeah, dude, fist bump, chest bump.
Yeah, we just hung out
All right.
like 10 minutes ago, man. It was awesome.
So what got you into making these review videos?
It was a complete accident. So, I had been working on Sister Who Slighted. It was done at that point, and I had started working on Recovery, which is the Trixie comic. And the whole point of creating my YouTube channel initially was just to document the progress on these artistic works. So I would just make a video blog and like, yeah, I did page like 15 today, and it's coming along pretty good. I did some coloring, and like it was just gonna be video blogs, updating my progress. I post some on my Tumblr, which was where I was most active at that time, and that was the point of the channel. And there's like maybe 40 subscribers because no one really cared. So that was the channel's point. And then on Tumblr, someone called me out on having Rarity be my favorite pony, because my favorite pony is unquestionably Rarity. And he was just like, Rarity sucks. Tell me why she's good. And I was like, okay. So I wrote like this like 10-paragraph response to why Rarity was the best, and like systematically just broke it down. I was like, this is why. And I never heard back from him, so I guess I shut him up. And people were just like, this is great. Like, you should do more stuff like this. And I was like, all right, but I guess I should do it in video form because nobody really reads. So the first video I made was why I like Applejack, but I want her to get more attention in the show because I felt like her character is limited. So I did this big, like, 15-minute video about Applejack. And that got a lot of attention. And then, like, the next 2 weeks later, I did one on the Nightmare Moon arc and why that was my least favorite arc in the show, and, like, kind of breaking down for literary reasons why I didn't like it. And that was it. Because I can talk about this stuff because, again, I'm a storyteller. So I've always been, like, quietly analyzing things, like, just for myself. Like, why do I like this and how can I integrate that into my work? So I've been analyzing things, but I've never published it. This was the first time I ever did. And I did these 2 videos, and then they just sat for, like, 6 months. I didn't do any analysis. I just kept working on my comic. Then Season 3 starts airing. And back-to-back, they air Sleepless in Ponyville and Magic Duel. And, well, I did a project on Scootaloo, and I was working on a project that was supposed to redeem Trixie, and then they redeemed Trixie in an episode. So I was like, fuck. So I was like, I need to talk about this. I need to get this off my chest. So those were the first 2 My Little Comments videos, which are my episode analysis video series. And at the time, I didn't even call them My Little Comments. It's just like Sleepless in Ponyville is awesome. And then the other one was like my rant on Magic Duel. And I just unloaded on both of them in a positive and a negative way. And like if you watch my Magic Duel review, it's incredibly biased. All I do is piss about how my fanfic is ruined. It's kind of hilarious. So those were the 2 videos that I had started doing like episodic analysis. And only reason I talked about them is because I had 2 projects concerning those characters. And so I had something to say about them. And they got like a significant amount of attention because I tagged them with the episode titles. And of course, people were looking for the episodes on YouTube. So people were like, this is great. What are you going to say next week? It's like, no, nothing. And they're like, you should keep going. You're like, oh, okay. So then I did Wonderbolts Academy, and then it just kept going. That's why I don't have any reviews on The Crystal Empire or Too Many Pinkie Pies or One Bad Apple, because I didn't plan on doing Season 3 analysis videos. I only started with Sleepless in Ponyville because I did a project on Scootaloo. So, like, it just happened. People were like, you need to do more of these. I'm like, okay. And then, like, the whole analysis scene kind of blew up, I guess. I guess because me and Digi started doing a lot of analysis, and DigiBrony was, like, doing a lot of things that weren't episode reviews. And I was like, well, that's what I originally started doing with my Applejack and my Nightmare Moon. So then I went and did a response to his video on Destiny, and then I started talking about, like, some other big concepts, and I have, like, a lot more coming. So it just kind of took off, like, beyond, like, anything I expected. And then from January to now, I gained over 12,000 subscribers. Holy crap, what do I do? So it just, like, completely took me by surprise, and now I'm, like, trying to juggle analysis and doing my comic. I'm just like, this is crazy. So how did I get into it? Peer pressure. People told me to do it, so I did.
Peer pressure. Yeah, peer. For me, I don't think Static refers to it as an accident, but I think the way we got our show started was just a complete accident. Because I mean, well, you said you watch our stuff. You said so. You've probably heard what I've said about it. That I thought it was just I thought that we were starting it as a joke, but then just kind of blew up.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. Like, your projects, when they go online, they kind of, like, take on a life of their own, and, like, people just start getting invested in them in ways you don't expect, and then you kind of feel like you have an obligation almost, because I don't know, for me, like, I create stuff for myself, but at the same time, the reason I create is because I want to share it with other people. So when people react positively to it, I'm like, okay, well, I want to keep this going because I like having an audience, and I like making them happy and, like, exceeding their expectations and things like that. So
yeah,
that's why I keep doing what I'm doing, even though it wasn't originally my game plan. But that's life, you know, weird things happen.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Anything can happen.
Definitely.
It can happen.
Alrighty. Do you have help with your videos, or is it just you all the time?
For a long time, I didn't have any help. I just did everything myself. Now, a lot of my longer format videos, like, for example, the one that I did very recently was My Little Ponytails is the anti-film. It kind of deconstructs My Little Ponytails, which is the second MLP cartoon, and how it's like the antithesis of what Friendship is Magic stands for, in my opinion. And that was edited by my friend Formula Dash. And at one point, I put up a video on my channel saying, I'm like swamped with stuff. I have so much going on. I need help editing videos. So if anybody wants to edit some of my longer videos, like, please. So I got a couple people who said they would do it, but Formula Dash was one of the guys who actually like stepped up the plate continuously. He's edited probably about 5 of my videos so far, and he's working on editing another video that should be coming out within the next week or so on the history of Equestria and Celestia and Luna's role in the shaping of modern Equestria. And it's like a 15-minute video, and he's just like, dude, I'll do the whole thing, just keep focusing on other stuff. So he's kind of taken this huge burden off my shoulders, because I suck at video editing. My videos are super basic, and it takes me forever, and he can just bust stuff out and do crazy shit. So he helps me a lot with the longer format videos, but the Fimpressions series, which is just episode analysis, Random Thoughts, which is just like 30-second videos on stupid ideas I have, and the new series I have, Fanwork Friday, which I'm trying to highlight some of my favorite fan works. Those are all done by myself. So I only try and pass big things off to him that I know I don't really have time to do.
Yeah, I saw your most recent fanfic thing about the
Forgotten Element? The Forgotten Element, the comic?
Yeah, I saw
Dude,
the
it's
thing
really
about that. It looked good. It's amazing to see that there's still people who hand draw comics.
Yeah, Joel is incredible, and he has I think he's like 30-something pages into Forgotten Element, but he's also like almost 70 pages deep into his Powerpuff Girls comic, which is just as impressive and still hand done. So he's doing comics at the same time. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm writing a fanfic that has kind of a similar name called the Lost Element of Harmony. And it's
Nice.
Don't know how it'll turn out, but
I used to write fanfics about Pokemon.
Nice, man.
I just never had the motivation to finish them.
Yeah,
I would get maybe 3 chapters in, and then it would just completely stop. People said they were good, but
what for me, what I did, because Recovery is going to be 10 chapters long. It's going to be huge. And the amount of work it's going to take, I've been telling people, and they're like, how long is it going to be? I'm like, it's probably going to be 300 to 500 pages. It's probably going to take me about 5 years to do. So, it's a huge undertaking, because I had the stupid idea of digitally painting all the backgrounds and doing it in full color, which is the kiss of death, right? But that's what I'm doing. And I have it all planned out. And the thing I made sure I did is I wrote the last chapter first. So I wrote how it ended, so I know how it ends, exactly. And it's, written and completely finalized in writing form. And I'm just that's going to keep me going, because I want to get to there, because it's done already. And I want that to happen. So...
Well, you can do the backgrounds like they did in Ed, Edd n Eddy. Did you ever watch that show?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everything's kind of colored the same way. Nothing's ever really... I don't know if they did that because they were lazy or just for a unique show.
Yeah. What I'm doing right now is, because again, I did the first issue. The first issue's done. I'm working on issue 2 right now, and I learned a lot from the first issue. I tried a lot of different kind of techniques, and with issue 2, what I've decided to do is to save some time, because for me, I love drawing characters. I hate drawing backgrounds. Backgrounds to me are a pain in the ass. So I'm doing a different approach. Instead of drawing backgrounds, I'm going to do environments, and so I know a bit of 3D modeling. So I'm taking a combination of 2D drawings and some basic 3D models, and instead of, because the first part of the second book is all going to take place in the Evergreen Forest. So instead of drawing trees in each panel, I'm going to draw a bunch of trees, and I'm going to put them on 3D objects. I'm going to draw some 3D tree trunks, and I'm going to make this environment, almost like a stage, like a set of the Evergreen Forest, and then I can just crop it and take screenshots of this stage and use those as a background. So I only do the whole thing once, then I just take screenshots of it, and those are my backgrounds. And I can just bust them out whenever I need the Evergreen Forest again. I can always use it because it's always there. So I'm going to do that for all of my environments going forward, because the majority of the story, once we get to chapter 3, is all going to take place in one small town. So if I model that town once, I never have to draw another background for the majority of the book. It's just all there. So hopefully that'll alleviate some of the time, and I can focus more on making the characters look nice and get the stuff out quicker. So
Yeah.
I've never done work like that before, but it seems to make sense in my head. So let's see when it actually starts happening, if it pans out that way.
Well, I hope it all goes well.
Yeah, same here. That's
All right. Do you or have you ever hosted any live shows?
Yeah, I do live streams all the time, which I don't know if you call that a live show, but I do like gaming streams, movie streams. I'm probably going to be hosting a live stream tonight. We're going to watch the next episode of Attack on Titan, which is currently airing anime in Japan. It's really good. And also for a while, me and my buddy Pegasus Rescue Brigade, we hosted a show called Golden Oaks Book Club, which we highlighted fan fiction and stuff. It was very similar to Family Friday, but it was a lot longer format because it was an hour and a half long podcast, and he was my co-host. And we stopped because he had to go back to school, and I just kind of fell out of contact with him. I don't even know what he's doing right now. I know he's still writing. He writes fanfics, and I drew comics, so it was a nice kind of having two perspectives on the same show. And so we would do kind of like the same thing. Like all the Fanwork Fridays I've done so far were the same fics I highlighted in Golden Oaks. So, because like they're still my top tier favorite things. So he would highlight a fan fiction, I would highlight some sort of fan comic or something, and then we'd talk about an episode, kind of give our thoughts on it. And then we'd talk about storytelling in general. So we did this whole thing on like characterization and stuff like that. And it was a nice show. We had like a small kind of following, but the big problem we had was getting guests on the show, because we wanted to go forward and have some guests. So we had one guest, but everyone we talked to was in different time zones, so it made it really difficult to get people on board, because it was a live show. So if they had, if the person on like the other side of the world had time that was like 3 a.m. for us, well, no one's going to tune into a live show at 3 a.m. So it was very difficult. And then on top of that, he had to go back to school, so it just kind of sputtered out after like three episodes, which kind of sucked. But I don't know. I mean, maybe I'll get back to it at some point. I'll have to try and get in touch with him again. I haven't talked to him in a while.
Yeah, well, that sounds pretty cool.
It does.
I don't know if you said you do live video game videos, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know my main channel, but I do a lot of gameplay videos on there.
No, man, you should link me.
Undead Brony with BRNY, not an O. I've uploaded like 60 videos.
Nice, man. What do you usually play? Just smorgasbord of stuff?
Yeah, I play anything. Like right now I'm working on Don't Starve and Manhunt.
Sweet.
Which Manhunt is not for the squeamish.
Are you playing like Manhunt on PC, or do you have like a PVR to capture PS2 footage?
I am playing it on PC.
Nice.
Like I used to have it for Wii, like a video recorder, but we hooked it in our Wii U.
And it's the unedited version, so any...
Well, actually, Manhunt 1 isn't unedited, but Manhunt 2, yes, I'll be playing the uncensored version of Manhunt 2, which was rated adults only, which is now legal to buy, may I say, for those Manhunt fans, so go buy it!
Yeah.
Manhunt 2 is now adults only on PC.
Yeah. I have a channel too, but I only have 3 videos, because I can't stay committed to my channel.
I can.
My personal channel has nothing on it, so I just figure I set it back up, because I want to do like philosophy videos and stuff on there, but I don't know if anyone's going to want to listen to me talk about metaphysics, but who knows.
Alrighty. So have your the fans of your show ever told you what they like best about your videos?
I mean, I try and be very open. That's kind of my thing. I think I've definitely gotten like messages from people like, oh my god, I'm like so like freaked out talking to you, and like it's weird because like at this point last year, or even before like a year before, because when I went to BronyCon last year, I was that person, because I somehow had managed to befriend Paleo, who's like, Paleo, he's one of the hosts on Brony Breakdown. He's a pretty big guy, and so I met Saberspark through him, like all these guys, and we went to BronyCon. I hung out with them, and it was like, oh yeah, we're gonna go hang out with Denotive and shit. And I'm just like, I have 40 subscribers. I'm not worthy to sit at this table. I was like really like freaking out, and like Denotive is right there, and I'm just like, I want to talk to you, but this is weird. So now, like a year later, I'm on the other side of the table. I'm like, I have a bunch of subs. I've got more subs than Denotive now. Maybe, I don't know. And it's just like, I don't feel any different, like, as me as a human being. Like, it's not like I go outside and people rush me, like I'm famous or some crap. But like, it's this weird kind of, like self-projected, like, interpretation of who we think someone else is. So now I have people afraid to talk to me, and I'm just like, dude, like, don't. Like, I'm like a loser. I work a part-time job and, like, struggle to get by. Like, I'm just a dude, you know? So I try and be very open and, like, accessible to people. So when people add me on Skype, I'm like, hell yeah. When people message me on YouTube, I try and respond to all the comments. And when people, like, I opened up a new Tumblr because I kept getting people asking me, can you read my fan fiction? I know most people just like, I'm like, nah, man, like I made a Tumblr just so you can submit your fan fiction to me and I'll read it and like give you my thoughts. So I'm trying to be really open, and I hope that that's something that people appreciate. I mean, because there are people that I look up to online that don't do that, and that pisses me off because I want to be able to have this interaction because, you know, we're more than just our subscriber count. We're all human beings and we're all equal, and like even if you have just one subscriber, I don't care. If you can like have a good conversation and like do something like that impresses me on an intellectual level, like dude, like we're bros and let's talk and like get to know each other. Because like I respect people who can show me that they're worth talking to. You know, like that doesn't mean how many subscribers you have, because if that was the case, I would look up to PewDiePie more than anybody, and I really don't care about him. But then again, like I was talking to ANY Pony back when he had like 20 subs because he impressed me with the work he was doing. So for me, like I try and stay open. I try and listen to everybody, and don't give a crap about how many subs you have or how popular you are. It's just if you can talk the talk and like, you know, walk the walk and be a good person and have something interesting to say, I will listen. So as far as what subscribers think my best thing is, like I don't know. No one's really directly said it to me, but I would hope that like my projection of being open and approachable is something that they recognize and appreciate, because I try very hard to keep up with everything.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah.
Like I can be like not shy online, but if you like walk up to me, like if someone walks up to me at BronyCon, I will immediately my voice will shut down. I will not talk. I am so shy.
I am open online and offline, so
I try to be open offline.
Dude,
I'm
speaking
just
of
so
that,
shy.
today, like before even like where I just came back from before I got online, is someone messaged me. Oh my god, I forget his username. Hold on, let me check it. So I don't name drop the wrong thing, because we never even talked before. Rolling Bones, this kid was awesome, all right, and I never talked to him before in my life. And he messaged me. He's like, "Yo, I know you live in Mass. Like, I live in Mass too. You want to want me to like buy you a beer at some point?" I was like, "Oh yeah, hell yeah, let's do that at some point." And then he's just like, "Dude, you want to like hang out this weekend?" And I'm just like, "Okay, but I don't really drink." He's like, "Dude, let's go get lunch." So I went out and got lunch with this kid. It was awesome. And like I'd never met him before, but he was just like, "Dude, like let's hang out." And I was like, "You know what? Let's do it." So we just broed. We went to Chipotle's and talked about Mass Effect and video games for like 4 hours. So.
Oh, Mass Effect. I am so addicted to Mass Effect 3 right now. I'm playing online all the time.
I'm more into the Silent Hill type games.
Psychological survival horror.
My
Good stuff.
friends got me addicted to it.
Yeah, like I love those. Like it really depends on what kind of survival horror though. Like my favorite kind of like Condemned, I guess you could call it a survival horror, but it's different than most of them. Like it's a first-person melee, and I love those kind.
Yeah.
And I can't help but mention this. You mentioned PewDiePie, right?
Well, my point was that he has
I'm
like
a
a ton
big
of
fan of
subscribers,
his.
but like I don't like hold him like super high regard because of that. You know, like it doesn't affect my perception.
No. Well, and as he says, he doesn't think he's really famous or anything like that.
He's a person just like everyone else. Like they say, puts his pants on one leg at a time, just like everyone else.
But yeah, and we had a moment like that, like you said, with Paleo and everything. Like we found out that we were gonna interview Dusty Cat, and we were so nervous to talk to him. Like we were, like, I won't mention who, but one of us was shaking. And the other one could not stop sweating. But
this was like towards the beginning of our show too. So
well, yeah, but even now
we
I
were
still
new and amateurish.
I still get a little nervous.
No, I mean it's
Like I still get a little
it's
nervous
a
before
natural
every
reaction,
interview.
you know, because you hold these people in high regard. You know, you respect them and you respect what they do, and it's just like, you know, what I don't want to mess
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
but at the same time, like you know, like when I get on here, I'm just like, oh, I want to say something stupid, you know, like it's the same thing. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the main thing that I worry about is I hope the person's not a jerk. Is the main thing that I'm worried about. Is all. It's like, you know, if this person's a jerk, then I'm not gonna enjoy their videos anymore. It's like,
Yeah.
really,
Like we've had a few like that.
most of the people
Yeah.
I've met through this
I'm not
community
gonna
have
mention
been
who,
pretty
though.
awesome.
Yeah, we
Like there are
we
a
don't want to open
couple exceptions, but for the most part, everyone's been pretty awesome. So.
Oh yeah, lots of people have been awesome. There's only been one person.
And like I said, we won't mention who.
Don't want to open up a can of worms. Like, I hate you.
Nope. Alright. What do you like best about making your videos?
I think the thing I like the best is probably the discussion that comes from them. When it's an intelligent discussion, a lot of the times it does devolve into dumbness. But the thing that really made me want to keep making more videos is when I did the Applejack analysis video. The comments were just full of people like just talking like intellectually, and I was just like, this isn't YouTube comments. What's going on here? It was just nice to like see like some intelligent discourse as a result of something that I had created, and I always try and read through all my comments because like there are a lot of people who say some interesting things, and a lot of the times like there are people who say things I agree with, things I disagree with, and there are times when people totally can like shut down my points entirely. So it's just like coming to more complete conclusions about things, and I'm totally addicted to feedback. So like usually I'll upload a video and then I'll sit there for 2 hours and refresh the comments and just read them and just like yeah. Like I enjoy feedback and I like having that conversation. So you'll notice like when I upload a video, usually for like the next 2 hours I'll respond to like almost everything. So I'm just like yeah, let's keep going. So yeah, it's the discourse that results from it because it's a static piece of video content, but at the same time I want the idea to be dynamic and alive. So I'm still there contributing my side, and there are other people contributing their thoughts to it, and the discussion is what keeps the piece itself alive. So that's what I like most about it, I would say.
Yeah,
That's good.
it is. Yeah, I like getting good, constructive feedback when people are just like, you suck. It's like, well,
Prove it.
why?
You know?
Why do I suck?
Yeah, I know I've gotten some constructive criticism for my game videos, and I thought, okay, maybe I can fix that. But, you know, when you say, like, you know, when they're not constructive, I just, okay, whatever. I'll leave the comment there for anyone to see and, like, they'll laugh at it or something.
Okay.
Before we go any further, actually, I want to mention, we're going to be making, I'm not going to say what it is, but we're going to be making a, for those of you who actually stayed in the interview this long, we're going to be making a video that we might get a little hate for.
Well, we could mention that later, but you know.
Yeah, okay. Mention that on the video. Sorry.
Fight.
Ow. Slap me.
What's your...
Yeah,
sissy fight. Ow.
Okay. What's been your favorite song?
Favorite
out of the MLB
song is
series
definitely
so far?
Art of the Dress. Just Suited for Success is my favorite episode. Rare is my favorite pony. Art of the Dress is my favorite. That whole 22 minutes was just like the epitome of
Yeah,
everything.
I watched that. Yeah, I watched that.
Other
video
than that, if you want to say
that
other than that, because that is the
it was
obvious
the
answer.
best.
My second favorite song after that is probably either This Day Aria or Celestia's Ballad. They're kind of tied right now.
Celestia's Ballad. Everyone was waiting for Celestia to have a song. And
Yep. And finally, she got one at the end
Yes,
of
we
season.
do.
now we just need Luna to have a song.
Luna needs
Luna hasn't gotten anything lately.
No.
I mean, she got a little bit in season 3. She got a little bit in the Sleepless in Ponyville, but she only got like 2 small, tiny parts.
She had her the hollow. Oh God, that is blank. The Halloween video. I'm just blank.
Luna's Eclipse.
There you go.
Lunar Eclipse.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did that
I'm
episode
hoping
did
season
revolve
4.
more
Season
around
4.
her. But I wish she'd get more.
Megan McCarthy said we get some more backstory on them in season 4. So
Yeah.
here's hoping.
Yeah. Hoping. Exactly. Yeah.
All right. So which of your review videos do you think is like the most thought out, like the most intelligent, I guess?
Intelligent. Wow.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, like more, like you put most work into.
I think it would probably either be Suited for Success, because I know that episode inside and out. But I think the one that I put the most work into, the most thought into, was probably the Candlelight Wedding collab I did with Anthony C. Because it was a half an hour long, and we just deconstructed the crap out of that episode and like broke down everything. So, I mean, I'm working on a character analysis video of Rarity, which is probably going to be even longer. So when that comes out, that'll by far be my most in-depth video, because I'm just going to talk about like everything she's ever done from start to end and be like, this is why she's the best thing in the entire world, and you're all dumb for not liking her the most, and just going to like go super in-depth. But until then, it's definitely the Candlelight Wedding video was the most in-depth.
Nice. Yeah, like I said, my favorite pony's always...
Watch the video, we'll see if you agree.
Rarity's an awesome pony, but...
I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, she is.
I mean, I admit, she can handle herself in a fight, as shown by the Pony and Dog Show. What? You don't remember that episode?
No, I
Applejack's
do.
cool. I like Applejack.
Mine,
She needs more representation. She needs things to do. She sticks around the farm. Come on.
She does.
She does.
She's
And
the
I
wise
talked about, like,
sage. She
Applejack,
sits
like,
there and she's
why?
like, she got her
I'm
shit
like, well,
together. She knows what's going on,
because-
and like she can just like exposit wisdom whenever you need to. Like anyone got a problem, they go to Applejack. You know, like Applejack, why do you have to be so good and make me look so bad? You know,
Yep.
she's the one. She's got everything together.
Yeah. Yeah, she's... But yeah, I tell people that...
Dude,
some
I said
people,
that Flower Shower is my least
they
favorite. The main
get mad
stage.
at me
Someone
for it. It's like,
sent me a message on Tumblr saying if I
Dude.
ever saw me in real life, they'd punch me in the face. I was like, I
mean, okay, you said that. I don't
It's fun.
say I want to punch you in the face. I say, okay, that's your opinion.
Yep.
I mean, everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
Just long-winded threats over the internet.
Oh yeah.
All bark, no bite. That's all it is.
Like if they
Get my
see you at
hat
BronyCon,
on,
then
it's
I'm
like
sure
a
you'll be in
target.
trouble. But no, I'm kidding. No, but no, like yeah, like I don't care if she's your least favorite. Like okay.
Well, that's why I call her Cheesy Gordita. I'm just like, she might be the worst I have on the Taco Bell. I mean, even that's still
No,
fantastic. They're all good. Just
No, inside I'm saying I wonder what's coming up next in Luigi's Mansion. Yeah, I recently got the second Luigi Mansion game and it's been awesome so far.
And ask your question.
Okay, stop poking me. Let's see. Tell us a little bit about
there's
your OC.
Some things to say, I guess. He kind of started out as an avatar for myself. He looks a lot like me. I would hope. I mean, I'm not blue, but I got like the chin scruff and the weird mustache kind of thing going on, and I do have the teacher cap in real life. So, and he was designed initially just to be an avatar for myself because everybody kind of had no scene. It was like, well, I'm a follower, so I have to do this. But eventually, I started doing an Ask blog for him for a little while. That never really went anywhere because I just didn't have time to run an Ask blog on top of YouTube videos, on top of drawing a comic. So like something had to give, and that was the one that did. But he was his like character. I was going to separate him from myself a little bit and give him a character. And I think I talked about this a little bit in my first Q&A, but his name was Tall Tales, and he was a bard, and he lived in Trottingham, and he would tell stories to people. He'd just be kind of like a wandering minstrel. He'd play on the sidewalk, and like through song and art and stuff, he would just tell all these stories. And it was kind of an excuse for me to learn how to make chiptunes, and I just suck at music, so I gave up pretty quickly. But his whole backstory was like he was gonna live in Trottingham and he's gonna like, tell stories to the children and like people, like give people advice through like fairy tales and like fables and things like that. And he would talk to Pipsqueak a lot. Pipsqueak would be like one of his biggest fans, and he'd tell him like tales of pirates, and that's how Pipsqueak got the idea for doing the pirate costume in Luna Eclipse. And it's going to tie that into canon a little bit. And then at some point, Pipsqueak would have to move to Ponyville because obviously he doesn't live in Trottingham anymore. And there'd be like some sad feels there. And then at some point, my character Taltails would go to Ponyville to visit him and like make him happy and stuff. And then he'd get the tutor cap from Rarity because she's like, "Oh, darling, if you're going to be out there playing music and stuff, you just have to look the part," and like give him the hat and stuff. So I was going to tie it a lot into the other characters. And so that was kind of the backstory I would give the character. But he isn't really a character. He's just supposed to be me. But people were just like, "What's his story?" Like people, the same question you just asked, like, "What's the deal?" And like when pushed, like that's kind of where I went in that direction. So.
That's cool. That's well thought out right there.
Yeah.
My OC doesn't look anything like me. Like, you can't tell because of my Skype picture because he has the mask on right now. That's a human version of him, but, like, I didn't want him to look like me. Like, I like myself, but I don't like my looks. So, I just gave him long red hair with an orange, what's the word?
Bangs.
Bangs, I guess. Like, it's not all of his bangs, it's just a little strand of hair.
Yeah. Just the part that you can
highlight,
swish.
That's it, highlight.
Just the part that you can swish. Swish.
Yeah, with a highlight, orange highlight in front of his head, and then he's a Pegasus, of course, and his cutie mark's a gaming headset. And that's about it.
Yeah.
He lives in Ponyville and has a crush on Fluttershy. That's it.
I've never really explained the backstory of my OC, 'cause I'm afraid people think it's dumb. I think it's unique, but
You should make a video. We should make videos on
Oh, man,
our
it's all
backstories.
good.
But anyway, let's
not
get off that.
Talk about us. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
We're interviewing someone. Don't talk about us.
You got me into it. Yeah. Anyway. Got anything?
What cutie mark from the show stands out to you the
let's
most?
see. I like Trixie's and I like Shining Armors, I think. Are probably the two that have stuck out to me the most, other than like you, the main six, because you see those ones all the time. But other than that, I think I like Shoeshine. She's a background pony because she has the two horseshoes, and I have a whole backstory in my head about her because she was going to be in one of the fanfics I will someday eventually write. She was like a really developed character, so I thought that she made horseshoes, and also that she was very lucky because horseshoes are like a good luck charm. So she was very kind of just like goes through life very kind of blasé-faire and just kind of doesn't worry about anything because luck always comes her way, so she's never had to like work for anything. So she's kind of almost like unaware of the challenges of life because like things always go her way naturally. She's very happy-go-lucky, and it was gonna be a shipping fic with Carrot Top and Derpy, and Carrot Top was gonna go to her for advice on like relationships and stuff, and she'd just be like, just go for it. Like, who cares? Like, what's the worst could happen? She's like, what do you mean what's the worst could happen? She's like, nothing. Like, you just do it. And he's like, I'm not you. I'm not lucky. Not everything goes my way. Like, I have to like think about things. She's like, So it's going to be like an interesting little discourse between the two and just show how jaded she is to like real life. But yeah, like those cutie marks are the ones I really like. I really like the design of Trixie just because it has a lot of kind of things going on. I like Shining Armors because it's like a coat of arms sort of, which is pretty sweet. And then yeah, I mean, Shoeshine was one of my favorite background pony design-wise. I just like the blues because I'm blue. I like Trixie. She's blue. Shoeshine's kind of blue, kind of like the blue sort of deal. And her cutie mark is what gave me the idea for her entire character. So.
My pony, he's like bluish. He's an indigo color, like his name, Indigo Wisp.
I think it works, dude.
I know that was uncreative, but I thought it. But can you think of any more?
Oh dang!
I think we might be out of questions. Because Static's got his, oh my gosh, I can't think of any more face. Oh, never mind.
All right.
you might have already answered this, but I can't remember, so I'm gonna ask anyway. But what is your favorite episode?
My favorite episode?
Episode of this.
Well, I mean, Suited for Success is probably my favorite episode, but besides that, like my second favorite episode,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna say, there's so many good episodes. I'll say Lunar Eclipse is my second favorite episode after.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah?
That's my second favorite one.
That
My
was pretty
first
sweet,
favorite
too.
would have to be Keep Calm and Flutter On. Yeah, that's. I might do, like, my reviews are crap. Like I did a review on.
Right, back in
I
the day.
don't know if you've ever heard of the game Kiss Psycho Circus. Yeah, I did a review on that on my old channel, and then I moved to this new channel, and I did a review on that, but
That'd be cool.
it was crap in my opinion. So I might try and do
Hey
a
man,
review
don't
on
unless you try.
Keep Calm Flutter On, but I don't think it'll go over very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Writing a
'Cause,
script
I
is what
can't
really helps. Like I
talk
could just talk
fast,
quickly like that off the top of my head. I have to
just-
write it out
I
first
don't
and
know.
just read. So helps organize your thought.
Yeah. I
Or-
need to start doing that.
Or, you know, just make a whole bunch of monsters before you start it.
I can, or else I'll
Yeah.
die or something.
That's right. I'll just drink a bunch of Mountain Dew then.
Yeah, I can't drink energy drinks because of my meds. But anyway, I think that might be it.
I think we're done.
Yeah, no problem, man. Thanks for having me.
So we're out of questions. So thank you so much, BronyCurious, for being on here.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And thank you
Yo,
all for
thanks
watching.
for showing
if you
up,
stuck around this
guys.
long. And I'm Indigo Wisp,
And I'm Static Blitz.
and he is BronyCurious. And we are Equest
That didn't sound like a bro.
and we are Equestria Talk. Brohuff. Ow!
He didn't brace himself.
Thank you all again for watching, and we will see you later.